Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janvallabha Jaya Girivaradhari
Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Vihari Jayo Gopi Janvallabha Jayo Girivaradhari
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna. So, very warm welcome to all of you for today's session on the Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start our session with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we discussed in our previous session Bhagwan Kapil. He is telling Mother Devahuti about this material nature, the Prakriti. We discussed that how the Supreme Lord, he is beyond the three modes of material nature. Nirgunah Prakrite Paraha. Prakrite Para means he is beyond this Prakriti. And Swayam Jyotir, he is self-effulgent. And Vishwam Yena Savanvitam. And this whole material world is pervaded by him. And Bhagwan Kapil is instructing Mother Devahuti about the transcendental process of bhakti. But bhakti can only be executed properly if we know about our position as well as the position of the Supreme Lord, and then we worship the Supreme Lord and our relationship with him gets established. So Bhagwan Kapil, he is explaining about this material nature, how the fundamental principles which are governing this material nature, because during our conditioned state we are governed by the material nature, and how we get liberated, all those concepts will also be explained further by Bhagwan Kapil. So today we'll begin our discussion with text 4, Shloka number 4 of the 26th chapter of the 3rd Canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sa esha prakritim sukshmam daivim gunamayim vibhuhu yadrichhayapo pagatam abhyapadyata leelaya. Sa esha prakritim sukshmam daivim gunamaim vibhuhu Yadrichhayevo pagatam abhyapadyata leelaya. Translation: as his pastime, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, the greatest of the great, accepted the subtle material energy which is invested with the three material modes of nature and which is related with Vishnu. Very important shloka. So Bhagavan Kapil in this shloka, he is saying that Saesha Prakritim Sukshmam. Because in the previous shloka, Bhagavan Kapil explained about how the Supreme Lord is Prakrite Purushah Paraha. The Supreme Lord is beyond Prakriti. He is self-effulgent. He is the creator of this whole material nature. He is beyond the scope of Prakriti. Prakriti means this material creation, and the Supreme Lord is beyond this material creation. Now, as we know that this material creation is a creation and is a creation created by the Supreme Lord and is predominantly, this whole creation is basically run by, or you can say it's a creation of the three modes. The three modes, which are Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Sattva Guna means mode of goodness, Rajoguna means mode of passion, and Tamoguna means mode of ignorance. So these three modes are the fundamental principles of this material nature. This whole material nature looks material because of the three modes. But the life-like reality, or you can say virtual reality, in this material world, because matter cannot move on its own. So that virtual reality of movement is created by the three modes in this material nature. So here it is mentioned that Saesha Prakritim Sukshma. So Prakritim Sukshma, this subtle Prakriti, subtle means which is not gross or beyond the gross material nature. So there are gross elements in this material nature and there are subtle elements. The gross elements are five: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Our material body is made up of these five gross elements. Okay. But beyond these three gross elements, there are three subtle elements: mind, intelligence, and false ego. So these are the subtle elements of this material creation. Okay. So Saesha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunamayim Vibhuhu. Daivim Gunamayim. Gunamayim means, again, Gun means the three modes. Vibhu means the Supreme Lord. So Daivim Gunamayim Vibhuhu. So these three modes are related to Lord Vishnu because they are creations of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Because this material nature, what is this material nature? Three modes. Material nature is the three modes are called material nature. When three modes interact with each other, and the time element stirs, or you can say it agitates the three modes. When the three modes interact with each other, agitated by the time element, that is called material nature. That is called Prakriti. Okay. So, Yadrichhayevo Pagatam. Yadrichhayevo Pagatam. That means that the supreme yadri ichha means the desire, right? Abhyapadyat leelaya. So the Supreme Lord, he desires, because of his desire, this whole material nature is created. Yadricha means the desire of the Supreme Lord. So, by the will of the Supreme Lord, by the desire of the Supreme Lord, this whole material energy is created. And this whole material energy is what? The three modes agitated by the time element. Okay. And ultimately, everything is connected to the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayan. And ultimately, everything is related to Krishna because he is the source of everyone. So basically, if we see, everything is connected to Krishna in every way. Although everything is connected to Krishna, but Krishna is not subjected, or Krishna is not under this material energy, because this material energy is also Krishna's energy only, right? And because this is Krishna's energy, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. That this material energy, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter, the 14th shloka, that Devi Hyesha Gunamayi. You see, that same Daivi word is used here also in this shloka. You see, Daivim Gunamayim. Now, these two words are used in Bhagavad Gita also. In the 7th chapter, the 14th shloka, exactly these two words are used. Let me take you to that shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. You can see on your screen. In the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the 14th shloka, you can see on your screen. You see, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi. You see, Devi word and Gunamayi word comes in this shloka. Exactly the two words which come in the shloka which we were discussing in the Bhagavatam also. So, Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So, what is Lord Krishna saying here? That Arjun, this Devi Hyesha Gunamayi, this Gunamayi, this material energy made of the three modes, it's Mama Maya. This is created by me. This is mine. This is my energy. Okay. But Duratyaya, it's very difficult to, Atyaya means to surpass. So it's very difficult to surpass this material energy. But Mamevye Prapadyante, but one who surrenders to me. Prapadyante means to surrender. Mameva means only me. So only if a person surrenders to me, then Maya Metam Tarantite. Taranti means to cross over. Then he can cross over this Maya, this Daivi Maya. Now you see, remember these two words, Daivi and Gunamayi. Okay. Now, let's go back to the shloka which we were discussing. You see, in this shloka also you can see on your screen, Sa Esha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunamayim Vibhuhu. You see, Exactly these two words are in this shloka also. Daivi and Gunamayi. Daivi means which is connected to Krishna. Right? So this material energy is also energy of Krishna only. Okay. And yadrichaya wo pagatam abhyapadyat leelaya. But to perform the leela, to perform the activities, leela means activities, the divine activities of Krishna. So Krishna performs his pastimes by manifesting this material nature, which is a mixture of the three modes along with the time element. So although this material nature is connected to the Supreme Lord never gets subjected to the three modes. The three modes are creation of Krishna only, but he never gets influenced by the three modes. He is always beyond the three modes. Just like sky, the clouds in the sky. Now, why clouds get formed in the sky? Because of sunlight, because of the sun. Do clouds cover the sun? Normally, people think that clouds have covered the sun. But can clouds cover the sun? No. Clouds cannot cover the sun. Clouds cover us, living entities. Clouds does not cover the sun. Right? People think clouds have covered the sun. No. Clouds have covered us. Right? Clouds cover the living entities who are living on earth. Okay. So, our vision gets covered by the clouds. Similarly, this material energy called Maya, it cannot cover Krishna. It covers ordinary living entities like us. Okay. Just like clouds cannot cover the sun, or we can take another example. For example, darkness. Darkness cannot cover the sun. What is darkness? Darkness is absence of sun. So darkness cannot cover the sun. Clouds cannot cover the sun. They cover ordinary living entities. They cover living entities who are living on earth. Similarly, this material energy is Krishna's energy. It covers conditioned souls, but it cannot cover Krishna. So those living entities who are covered by the material nature, those who are influenced by the three modes of material nature, they are called conditioned souls, because their understanding or their original knowledge gets covered by the influence of material energy. I have told you many times that as soon as the living entity enters into this material creation, immediately the covering potency of Maya acts, which is called Avidya Shakti, and it covers the real knowledge of the living entity. And that's how living entity forgets himself. Right? So when living entity gets covered by this material energy, he forgets himself. He cannot remember Krishna. He cannot remember his original position. And that's how his material journey starts. So when his material journey starts, what happens? Let's see the next shloka. Next shloka. Because material energy covers living entities. It cannot cover Krishna because material energy is the creation of Krishna. Just like clouds are creation of the sun. So clouds do not cover the sun. The clouds cover us, ordinary living entities living on earth. Similarly, material energy is created by Krishna. So material energy cannot cover Krishna. It covers ordinary living entities. And when this material energy covers the real knowledge of the living entity, then what happens? Let us see. Text 5, Shloka number 5. गुणैर्विचित्रः सृजति सरूपाः प्रकृतिं प्रजाः विलोक्य मुमुहे सद्यः सैह ज्ञानगूहया गुणैर्विचित्रः सृजति सरूपाः प्रकृतिं प्रजाः विलोक्य मुमुहे सद्यः स इह ज्ञानगूहया. Translation: divided into varieties by her threefold modes, material nature creates the forms of the living entities, and the living entities seeing this are illusioned by the knowledge covering feature of the illusory energy. Now you see. So in the previous shloka, it was described that this material energy is connected to the Supreme Lord. This material energy is the creation of the Supreme Lord, and that is why this material energy cannot cover the Supreme Lord. But this material energy can cover living entities. And when material energy covers the living entities, these living entities are called, the living entities who are covered by the material energy, they are called conditioned souls. So what happens with conditioned souls? Let us see. Gunair vichitra srijati. Gunair vichitra. Srijati means creation. Okay. So Gunair vichitra srijati. So this whole material energy, Gunair means the three modes. So this whole material energy, which is a creation of the three modes, Sarupa Prakritim Praja. Sarupa. This material energy, which is a mixture of the three modes, creates Rupa. Sarupa. Material energy creates forms of the living entities. So the bodies that we see, when a man sees a woman's body, or when a woman sees a man's body, or for that matter, when a lion is hunting in the forest, it sees the body of a deer and thinks that the deer will act as food for me. Where from all these creation is made possible? So these are all creations of the three modes. When we see another creature's body, that body is the creation of three modes of material nature. Okay. So Sarupah Prakritim Prajah. Prakriti means material nature. Praja means the living entities who live in this material nature. Okay. So Gunair Vichitra Srijati. So these three modes of material nature, they are created by Krishna, they are created by the Supreme Lord, and these three modes of material nature, they create the bodies of living entities. Vilokya mumuhe sadhyaha. Vilokya means to see. Mumuhe means moha. Moha means illusion. Sadhyaha. Sadhya means very quickly, suddenly. Sa iha jnana guhaya. Jnana guha. Guha means to cover, or it's guha actually means secret, or you can say which gets covered. So jnana guhya means knowledge gets covered. So exactly what we have discussed till now. So it is mentioned that These three modes of material nature create varieties. These three modes of material nature, they create varieties of bodies. Man's body, woman's body, cow's body, dog's body, cat's body, body of devatas, demigods, body of Lord Brahma. Every body in this material creation is created by the three modes of material nature. Every body. How many kinds of bodies are there? 8,400,000. That means 84 lakh kinds of bodies are created by the three modes of material nature. Okay. Now, each kind, that means each species, there are 8,400,000 species. That means there are 8,400,000 kinds of bodies. Now, each kind is called one species, and every species has billions and trillions and multi exponential gazillions of bodies. Okay. So, now here, this is a very beautiful shloka where Bhagwan Kapil is saying that Gunair Vichitra Srijatim. Vichitra means varieties, variegatedness. So the three modes, now in the previous shloka we discussed that when living entity enters into this material nature, he gets covered by this material energy and his original knowledge gets covered, he forgets himself and he forgets Krishna. Then what happens? Gunair Vichitra Srijatim Sarupa Prakritim Praja Vilokya Mumuhe. Vilokya means to see. So when the living entity sees these different forms of material bodies, right? When he sees the different kinds of bodies, what happens? Mumuhe Sadhya. Immediately he comes under illusion. Immediately he comes under illusion. So this is illusion. When we see another material body and we think that that material body will give me pleasure, just like a lion, when it sees a deer or any other animal, it thinks that that body will give me pleasure. Same happens with human beings, or same happens with all kinds of living entities. When a male sees a female or when a female sees a male, they think that this body will give me pleasure. So here what is Bhagwan Kapil saying? Mumuhe, that is illusion. Vilokya mumuhe sadhya. Immediately living entity falls under illusion. This is the illusion. This is not reality. It's a virtual reality created by the three modes. For example, when we are sleeping and we start to dream about a particular place or a condition, and in that we see all kinds of bodies, all kinds of living entities. But the living entities which are in the dream, they are illusory, they are not real. Our experience is real, but the living entities are not real. As soon as we come out of the dream, all the living entities are gone. Isn't it? Within a flash, all the living entities are gone. Everything about the dream gets vanished. Similarly, this material nature also is a creation of the three modes. It's like a dream. It's like an illusion. It's like a big illusion. It creates illusion of reality within us. And because of that illusion of reality, we start to think that everything is real, whereas everything is not real. It is illusion. Okay. So because of the three modes, our bodies are created. And as soon as we see the bodies, we come under illusion. That means we start to identify ourselves with the body. Okay. We start to identify ourselves with the body, and that is called illusion. That is called Maya. Mumohe. Mumohe means illusion. And this illusion continues our material existence. So no one can trace back since when a living entity is under this illusion of material energy. So since many millions of lifetimes, living entities may be under this illusory material energy. And the only way to surpass this is to take shelter of Krishna. And how do we take shelter of Krishna? By Shravanam. When we are in dream, when we are dreaming about illusion, dream is illusion. So when we are dreaming, how do we come out of the dream? By sound vibration. Sound vibration by whom? Who is not in a dream state, who is not in illusion. So that is why the only way to come out of illusion is to hear from the spiritual master. So when we hear from Guru, when we hear from the spiritual master, we gradually come out of illusion. So that is what is mentioned here, that vilokya mumuhe sadhya sahiha jnana guhaya. So the gyan, the knowledge of the living entity gets covered by the three modes of material nature. And as soon as living entity sees the material body, he gets conditioned, he gets illusioned by this material body. And that's how his original knowledge gets covered. Okay. Now, what happens after that? Text 6, Shloka number 6. एवं पराभिध्यानेन कर्तृत्वं प्रकृतेः पुमान् कर्मसु क्रियमाणेषु गुणैरात्मनि मन्यते एवं पराभिध्यानेन कर्तृत्वं प्रकृतेः पुमान् कर्मसु क्रियमाणेषु गुणैरात्मनि मन्यते. Translation: due to his forgetfulness, the transcendental living entity accepts the influence of the material energy as his field of activities, and thus actuated, he wrongly applies the activities to himself. Now you see. So what happens after that? After the living entity comes under the illusion, so as we discussed in the previous shloka, that the living entity comes under illusion, he forgets himself, and when he forgets his original position, he forgets Krishna also. And when he forgets Krishna and he forgets his original position, then what happens? He gets illusioned by the bodies created by the material nature. Exactly like a dream. As soon as we enter dream, we forget our original position because we are sleeping on our bed nicely. But as soon as we sleep off, as soon as we enter into sleep means ignorance. So as soon as we enter ignorance, we forget ourselves. During sleep, we forget ourselves. And as soon as we forget ourselves, what happens? We enter into dream state. And in dream state, different kinds of bodies are created. They are not real bodies, they are illusory bodies. And we start to identify ourselves with the body in the dream. Isn't it? Exactly the same thing is being told here. This material energy works like that only. But here, that dream, in a dream, that whole environment is created by our mind. But here in this material creation, this is the dream created by this virtual reality is created by Krishna. Okay. So, evam parabhidhyanena, evam para abhidhyanena. Para means which is not, which is beyond, which is para means which is superior. Okay. So, evam para abhidhyanena. Abhidhyanena means to identify, to think that is me. Okay. Kartritvam prakrite puman. Kartritvam prakrite puman. Puman means this material energy. Kartritvam prakrite puman. Puman means the living entities. Puman actually means Purusha. Purusha means there are two kinds of Purusha. One is the Supreme Purusha, who is Krishna, and there are living entities. They are also called Purusha, but they are illusory. They are thinking that they are Purusha. So in this material nature, they are also called Puman, means personalities. So Kartritvam Prakrite Puman. So Parabhidhyanena means to identify, to think that I am this body. So when the living entity, he starts to identify himself with the material body, what happens? Kartritvam Prakrite. He comes under the influence of Prakriti. He comes under the illusory effect of this material nature. Okay. And then what happens? Karmasu kriyamaneshu. Right? Karmasu kriyamaneshu. And then all his activities are dictated by the material energy according to the three modes of material nature. Okay. So he starts working exactly as dictated by the material energy. Because at different times, different living entities may come under the influence of different types of material modes. Sometimes a living entity may be in, he may come in touch with the mode of goodness. Sometimes he may come in touch with the mode of passion. And sometimes he may come in touch with the mode of ignorance. So a living entity at different times is influenced by different modes of material nature. Right? So Gunaratmani Manyate. Gunair Atmani Manyate. Atmani Manyate means, Atmani means me, and Manyate means to think. Right? So Gunair Atmani Manyate. So the living entity starts to think that the creation of the three modes, this material body and all the activities which he is performing under the influence of these three modes, these are all Atmani Manyate. He thinks that this is all me. This is all he starts to identify himself that I am doing this work, I am doing this. Like a lion, when it sees a deer in the forest, a lion pounces on that deer. So lion thinks that I have killed the deer, and now he starts to eat the body of the deer. Now that body of the deer is also illusion. Lion's body is also illusion. So when the living entity, he forgets Krishna, that is what happens. He comes under the illusion of this material body, and he performs different kinds of activities. Sometimes he does some activities under the influence of mode of goodness. So when he performs activities under the influence of mode of goodness, he is promoted to higher platform, higher bodies in the next life. If he performs activities under the influence of lower modes like passion or ignorance, he is degraded into lower species in the next life. Right? So this is how this material energy operates. That is what is mentioned here. Karmasu kriyamaneshu gunair atmani manyate. So all the activities are performed by the three modes. The three modes influences the living entity to perform these activities under different conditions. And the living entity applies these activities on himself. He thinks that I am doing all these things, whereas everything is done by the three modes. Sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. That is how a living entity constantly in under illusion. Constantly. And that illusion gets destroyed by the words of the spiritual master. Why? Because he is not under illusion. So as soon as we hear from the spiritual master, all that illusion gets destroyed. And that is how we come to reality. Who am I? Who is Krishna? Because we have forgotten ourselves. We have forgotten Krishna. So that the dream state, that is what is called dream state, that forgetfulness of Krishna. So we come out of that dream state, we come out of that illusion of material energy by the divine words of Guru and Krishna. So that is what we are seeing here. That is what Bhagwan Kapil is explaining. This is very beautifully Bhagwan Kapil is explaining these principles of material nature, which is the basis of Sankhya philosophy. So we'll discuss more about it in the upcoming sessions. Today's session will stop here. Those who are new to the channel can subscribe. All of you can like, comment, share. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.